Charlie. We're ready to rock.
Somewhere in Japan, right now, there's a very old man being celebrated as one of the longest living human beings on Earth. He's been dead since 1978. His family just never thought to mention it.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Why? Because they kept collecting his pension for 32 years. And when officials finally knocked on the door in 2010, they found him mummified, sitting quietly in his bedroom, still technically Tokyo's oldest living resident. His name was Shogun Kato, and he is unintentionally the patron saint of everything we're about to talk about today. Because for 20 years, you've been told the secret to living to 100 is olive oil, purpose, community, and a suspiciously photogenic Sardinian shepherd. I am always, and of course, going to ruin that for you, gently and with receipts. Here's what you think you know. In 2004, National Geographic and a researcher named Dan Buettner identified 5 regions on Earth: Okinawa in Japan, Sardinia in Italy, Nicoya in Costa Rica, Ikaria in Greece, and Loma Linda in California.
Smash the like button.
This is apparently where people were living dramatically longer than everyone else. They called them blue zones. Books happened. An entire Netflix documentary happened. Your aunt's Pinterest, for God's sake, her Pinterest board happened. The pitch was irresistible. It's not genetics, it's not luck, it's lifestyle. So eat the beans, walk to the well, love your neighbor, and live to 110.
What?
Here's the cold truth. A demographer at University College London spent years doing the single least glamorous thing imaginable. He actually checked the paperwork. Not the diet studies, not the documentaries, the birth certificates, the pension records, the death registries. His name is Dr. Saul Justin Newman, and what he found didn't just complicate the Blue Zone story, it set it on fire in a very controlled, extremely well-cited kind of way.
Aww, so cute.
So here's the mechanism, and it's almost insulting in its simplicity. Newman looked at where the world's supercentenarians, people supposedly aged 110 and up, actually cluster. And he found they don't cluster where people eat the most vegetables. They cluster where record keeping is worst. Introduce birth certificates into a region, and reported supercentenarians drop by up to 80%. Not because people start dying younger, but because you can no longer just say you're 112. Only about 18% of exhaustively validated supercentenarians worldwide actually have a birth certificate. In the United States, roughly 1 in 10 of them were already on record as dead. Let that sit for a second. 10% of America's officially oldest people were double booked between alive and deceased, and nobody even noticed.
Huh?
Now, why would that happen? 2 words: pension fraud. And Italy, oh bless it, is basically the case study.
Really?
In 1997, Italy discovered that around 30,000 people were still collecting pensions despite being dead. Not in poor health, dead. And this isn't some dusty historical footnote. In November 2025, police in Mantua arrested a man who had been dressing up as his own deceased mother. Wig, lipstick, her old blouse, the full costume. He'd apparently been using a syringe to remove fluids from her body to slowly decomposition. He kept her mummified in the laundry closet and had been collecting her survivor's pension, about $60,000 a year for 3 years. He got caught because he tried to renew her ID card in person, and the clerk noticed the neck hair. I want to be extremely clear. That was not a metaphor. That happened just a few months ago, y'all. So when Newman says the Sardinian Blue Zone has low income, high poverty, and a lot of missing paperwork, this is the texture of what that actually means on the ground. It's not that Sardinians are lying about Pecorino. It's that a system loose enough to lose track of a corpse for 3 years is also loose enough to miscount how many 106-year-olds it has. And Okinawa, the poster child, the one with the vegetable forward, purpose-driven ikigai having grandmothers everyone wants to be, the Japanese government's own data shows Okinawans eat the least vegetables of anywhere in Japan and have the country's highest BMI.
What the fuck?
The diet story and the data don't even agree with each other. Now, and I want to be fair here, because lazy cynicism is just as dishonest as lazy optimism, the Mediterranean diet itself is apparently not a hoax. There's real evidence it's good for your heart. But when researchers grade the quality of that evidence, most of the underlying studies come back rated low to critically low quality. It's mostly observational. People who happen to eat this way also happen to live longer, which is not even close to the same thing as proving the diet caused it. So, the honest version isn't the Mediterranean diet is fake. It's probably fine and definitely not the scientifically airtight miracle it's marketed as.
Unusual practice takes you where most conversations never go. Hidden histories, counterintuitive truths, and cultural twists that flip your perspective. Deep ideas delivered short and sharp, just minutes that feel like years of discovery. You'll learn what most people miss in a lifetime, giving you the kind of knowledge that sparks conversations, ignites debates, and makes people lean in closer. Concise, surprising, and impossible to ignore.
Here's the twist that actually makes this fun instead of just depressing. Not every region behaves this way. All right, so let's look at Scandinavia. Denmark, Sweden, Norway. These countries have kept meticulous church-based birth and death registries since the 1700s. You can trace a Swedish person's documented age back through centuries of paperwork. And notice something. None of them are marketed as a mystical blue zone. There's no Netflix special about the transcendent life force of a Norwegian filing cabinet. Why? Because when the records are actually good, the miracle ages mostly evaporate. Recent data on Swedish and Norwegian centenarians shows no dramatic upward trend in extreme lifespan at all. Boring. Verifiable. Correct. That's the tell. Honest bookkeeping doesn't produce legends. Sloppy bookkeeping does. So, here's the illusion named properly. We didn't fall for a diet. We fell for a documentary style. Slow drone shots of old women laughing in olive groves are apparently a more persuasive research methodology than a peer-reviewed birth certificate. And once you see that, you start seeing it everywhere outside of nutrition too. Wherever a story about human behavior feels a little too cinematic, a little too clean, ask the boring question first. Not does this feel true, but who checked the paperwork? Shogun Kato's family didn't need to fool a nation. They just needed nobody to ask a boring question for 32 years.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Now here's the actual good news, and it's better than eat more olive oil, I promise. You don't need a mythical village to justify the boring stuff that genuinely works. moving your body, having people who'd notice if you went quiet for 3 years, not smoking, seeing a doctor. None of that requires a 5-region marketing campaign or a suspiciously charismatic 104-year-old. It just requires showing up consistently in a system honest enough to actually count you. The most reliable path to a long life is not a secret village. It's a well-kept record. So be someone whose paperwork stays boringly, reliably, provably up to date, metaphorically, and at this point, apparently also literally.
Take control, up we rise, part of rock and roll.
If this cracked something open for you, don't let it evaporate. Follow the show, leave a rating, and send this one to the person in your life who's currently 3 seasons deep into a Blue Zones documentary. Tell them I said hello, and tell them I checked the paperwork.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, stay alive, and ideally on record.
Mom, somebody just followed me.
This is the most unusual practice. Rethink what you think you know with Charlie.